interested in reaping the dividends of democracy. Well, that's just for reflection, by the way. It's another beautiful Monday morning, and with a pleasure, I welcome you to AM today. My name is Alex Adejoye. Today's edition happened to be a very interesting one, very, very special, because over so many years ago, exactly today, a beautiful angel was born, and she's celebrating her birthday today. I don't know, probably you've been following on social media. She's been trending, making campaigns about today, that she's been painting the social media red, and today is that day. So everything stands still as Adebukola Oba celebrate her birthday today. Happy
Good
birthday.
morning. Happy birthday. Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Happy birthday to me. I'm very well. I'm doing very well. I'm feeling very well. I'm feeling elated.
To add another year. How does it feel?
It's a beautiful experience.
All
And
right.
thank God for another beautiful year. Good morning, dear viewer. It's another beautiful Monday morning from Osrc television, coming to you live right here in Orita Obele, Akure. My name is Adebukola Oba, and as always, we are here again to inform you, to engage you, and bring to you important conversation that actually matter to you. So do well to stay with your screen and stay with us. Thank you.
All right, stay with us, and we're starting straight to the business of the day. We're starting with the stories making the headlines on the national dailies, and I have with me this morning the Nation newspaper, the Guardian, as well as the Sun newspaper. So starting with the Guardian, Dia and I didn't know where Abiola was heard, says Abdul Salam. I guess that is coming from the book he launched over the weekend to celebrate his birthday. Let's just take a few paragraphs from that. Also with the rider, 28 years after his death, the controversy over the detention of late Chief Moshood Abiola, businessman, politician, has persisted. Former military head of state, General Abdul Salam Abubakar, said the detention center where Abiola was incarcerated for 4 years was kept secret by his predecessor, the late General Sani Abacha. General Abdul Salam, who was a member of the Provisional Ruling Council, PRC, the highest decision-making body at that time, also said that Abacha's deputy, General Oladipo Dia, who was the chief of general staff, did not know where Abiola was detained. He said, and I quote, "Before I became the head of state, I didn't know where Abiola was being detained. Even General Dia, who was in second in command to Abacha, had no idea where Abiola was being held. They kept moving him from one detention center to another." The former head of state reflected on his experience and constraint as a top-ranking officer who succeeded Abacha in his memo called "Of Duty," an autobiography of General Abdul Salam Alhaji Abubakar. It was one of the 3 books presented in Abuja on Saturday as part of activities marking his 84th birthday. General Abdul Salam also recounted his tense meeting with the leaders of the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, over Abiola's fate. For details on that story, you may want to check the Nation newspaper this morning.
Okay. I'm going to be taking my first story from Punch newspaper. Soldiers destroy terrorist hideouts in Katsina. Troops of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fasan Yama have launched a major offensive against terrorists and bandits in Matazu local government area of Katsina State, destroying several criminal hideouts and logistics base during ongoing clearance operations. The military said the operation, codenamed Operation Clean Sweep 3, commenced on June 14, 2026, following the death of retired Major General Rabi Abubakar, who was abducted alongside his wife by suspected terrorists in the area. According to the Joint Task Force, restoring security across affected communities. In a statement issued on Monday by the Media Information Officer of Operation Fasan Yama, Lieutenant Colonel Aliyu Danja, troops have been carrying out aggressive fighting patrols, intelligence-led raids, cordon and search operations, and clearance missions across identified terrorist enclaves within the joint operations area. Danja said troops recorded significant success in the Dikawa Hills area and neighboring communities, where several terrorist hideouts were discovered and destroyed. Since the commencement of the operation on June 14, 2026, troops have conducted aggressive fighting patrols, intelligence-led raids, cordon and search operations, and clearance missions across identified criminal hideouts and suspected terrorist enclaves within the joint operations area, it said. For more details on this story, you can find on the Punch newspaper.
Okay, not leaving the Nation newspaper yet, and still having this security story. Defense headquarters vow justice on General Rabi's death. With the rider, cause of death unknown, says son. Family await release of General's wife. Those responsible for the abduction of retired Major General Rabi Abubakar, who died in their custody, will be identified and brought to justice, the defense headquarters vow yesterday. Major General Abubakar was the former Director of Defense Information. The late Major General Abubakar was abducted alongside his wife on May 30 along the Katsina-Matazu Road while traveling to his hometown. He died in their custody on Friday. The Defense Headquarters Chief Administration Officer, Major General I.M. Abdullahi, described the late general as a distinguished officer whose service and sacrifice to the nation will remain indelible. He added that his death was a painful loss to his family, Katsina State, and the armed forces and Nigeria at large. We share in the grief of the people of Katsina and the family of the deceased. The armed forces will continue to work with relevant security agencies to ensure that those responsible are identified and brought to justice, he said. Major General Abdullahi led a high-powered military delegation on a condolence visit to the Katsina state government yesterday. The delegation were received by the Deputy Governor Farouk Lawal Jobe on behalf of the Governor Diko Umaru Rada. For details on that story, you find in the Nation newspaper.
All right, still on Punch newspaper. 68 pledges unmet as 10th National Assembly nears end, report. A new assessment of the 10th National Assembly has found that lawmakers have failed to deliver 68 of 92 legislative commitments tracked since the beginning of their tenure, with the House of Representatives recording an overall fulfillment score of 26.8% and the Senate 44.11%. The report, released on Sunday by Civic Tech Operation Advocacy Foundation, examined the performance of the House of Representatives and the State Senate against promises contained in their respective legislative agendas as the Assembly enters its final year. The assessment was conducted through the organization's Promise Tracker NG platform, which monitored 56 commitments made by the House and 34 commitments made by the Senate across sectors, including healthcare, education, economy, governance, security, and political reforms. According to the report, the House of Representatives fulfilled 13 of its tracked commitments, while 4 were classified as compromised and 39 as broken. The Senate delivered 9 commitments, 12 were considered compromised and 13 were classified as unfulfilled. The House recorded its strongest performance in healthcare, scoring 67%, followed by justice and security at 57%. However, the chamber scored 0% in the economy and jobs category, while governance and political reform recorded only 6%. The report said commitment relating to electoral reforms and constitutional amendments remained largely unresolved. The Senate performed better in some areas, recording 66.7% in education and 57.1% in economic development and jobs. For more details on this story, you can find on the Punch newspaper.
Okay, this state legislative seat with a rider that is coming from Hamed Baba Hamed Birinkabi. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has cleared 8 political parties and candidates for the Saturday's by-election schedule to fill the vacant federal and state legislative seat in 6 states. The election will be held in a senatorial district. Will be held in 4 senatorial districts in Rivers, Enugu, Nasarawa, and Ondo State, and 1 House of Representative constituency in Kano State, and a State House of Assembly constituency in Kebbi State. Vacancies arose from the death of serving lawmakers and the resignation of Senator Jimo Ibrahim of Ondo State following his appointment as the Nigerian permanent representative to the United Nations. Available information from INEC indicated that a total of 26 candidates drawn from various political parties will contest the 6 elections. In Nasarawa State, 6 political parties have fielded candidates for the Nasarawa North Senatorial District by-election following the death of Senator Gadi Akwashik. who was elected on the platform of the Social Democratic Party SDP in 2023. The candidates are Alaku Mohammed Steve ADC, Danladi Hairu. Just not to bore you with the names, you can get the details from the Nation newspaper.
Okay. Now to Nigerian Tribune. FAAC funds have stopped governors from taking bank loans for projects. Presidency. The presidency has set the federal account allocation bank loans to execute projects. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, stated this on Sunday in Abakaliki, the capital of Ebonyi State, while addressing a team of editors and journalists on a tour of federal and state projects in the 5 southeast states of Ebonyi, Abia, Anambra, Enugu, and Imo. He described the development as evidence that the administration is performing well. According to him, we have seen the landmark project the state government is executing, and it is a reflection that all the funds the federal government is giving the states are deployed into productivity. After collecting FAAC, we can see that the state governments are considering and undertaking projects that would have been impossible before now. Many of them don't have to go to banks to borrow money to develop their states in education, health, infrastructure, among others. The president is actually doing well, especially in the area of road infrastructure, which has never happened in this country. Look at the trans-Saharan roads conceived during the colonial era that he is audaciously embarking on now. He thinks deeply before implementation. He is a thinker and a doer, considering what we are seeing in every part of the country, Ononuga noted. The president also faulted what is described as unfair criticism of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration over project execution in the Northeast geopolitical zone, insisting that the government has delivered several landmark infrastructure projects in the area. The special advisor to the president on media and public communications, Sunday Dari, said it will be unfair for critics to claim that the president has not made any impact in the region, considering the project executed by the Tinubu-led administration in the zone, in addition to over 14 others by the Ebonyi State government. For more details on this story, you can find on Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, away from the Nation newspaper now to the Guardian. My dad wasn't diabetic. Abubakar's son disputes government claims. The son of the late Major General Rabi Abubakar retired, Isiaka, has rejected claims attributed to the Katsina state government that his father died from complication of diabetes and hypertension, insisting that the retired general had no history of either condition. Following the suspected murder of the general in captivity by bandits, the Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center has called for a comprehensive probe of the defense, expenditure, and security vote across the country. Presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress ADC and the Nigerian Democratic Congress NDC Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi have said the death of Abubakar in the custody of bandits and the renewed terrorist attack on communities in Chibok, Borno State demonstrates that Nigeria is steadily losing hard-won gains in the fight against insecurity. In an interview with Doshe Wile yesterday, the bereaved son described the report attributing to his father's death to that. Shouldn't that be enough clue for them to go about apprehending these bandits that have been kidnapping people across the region? Because there was a communication line. When you are trying to release the body of the deceased to the state government so that it can be buried according to Islamic rites. So to me, that should be a clue. Like civil society, the Civil Society Advocacy Center are actually claiming that there is a need for serious probing, a comprehensive report of how it actually went down. So to me, I think we really need, if we are really interested in some
as well. You know, most governments are old. You know, most people want truce from the military, the soldiers destroying the hideouts of these criminals. Of course, they will say that our security agencies and the government, they know what to tackle this insecurity.
But I believe it's something, if they can actually follow through, that's a link to actually get to this bandits.
Of course. All
right, let's take stories from.
I have a story right here from Punch newspaper talking about U.S.-Iran truce. which could slash petrol price to 900 naira, operators say, in the coming days if the proposed peace deal between the United States and Iran materializes and crude oil prices continue their downward trend. Industry operators have stated recent developments in the Middle East have triggered a sustained decline in global oil prices, fueling expectations that fuel price could also fall at the pumps. From over $120 per barrel in April, crude oil prices dropped to about $87 per barrel as of Sunday. The sustained decline, coupled with plans to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, is generating cautions
Michael was a distinguished Nigerian educator, politician, and statesman renowned for his integrity, commitment to democracy, and transformative impact on education in Nigeria. Born in Owo, present-day Ondo State, Ajashi began his education at St. Andrew's College, Oyo, from 1924 to 1927, where he trained as a teacher. He furthered his studies at Fowler Bay College in Sierra Leone, earning a Bachelor of Arts degree in English, Modern History and Economics in 1946. He then obtained a postgraduate diploma in education from the University of London in 1947. Ajashi's career in education commenced with his appointment as principal of Imadi College in Owo in 1947. He was instrumental in staff development, encouraging teachers to pursue further training at institutions like University College Ibadan. In 1963, he founded Owo High School, serving as the first principal until his retirement in 1975. Ajashin's political journey began in the 1950s as a founding member and national vice president of the Action Group, advocating for policies such as free education, universal health care, and Nigeria's immediate independence. He served as a federal legislator from 1954 to 1966. In 1979, he was elected governor of Ondo State under the Unity Party of Nigeria (UPN) with Akin Omoboriwo as his deputy. His administration prioritized education, establishing the Ondo State University in 1982, now Ekiti State University, and the Polytechnic Owo. In the 1983 elections, Ajashin was initially declared the loser amid allegations of electoral malpractice. However, the Supreme Court later reinstated him, affirming his victory. His tenure was cut short by the military coup on 31 December 1983. In 1939, Ajashin married Babafunke Tenabe, a fellow educator. They had 4 children, including General and Commissioner for Justice in Ondo State. Ajashin's commitment to democracy was evident in the 1990s when he became a leading figure in the National Democratic Coalition, NADECO, advocating for the restoration of democracy and the recognition of MKO Abiola's electoral mandate. His activism led to his arrest in 1995 under General Sani Abacha's regime. The university was renamed Adekunle Ajasin University in 2000. His governance style, marked by simplicity and incorruptibility, remains a benchmark in Nigerian politics, as he once stated. And I quote, "I came into office in October 1979 with a set of my own rich native dresses and left office in December 1985. His legacies continue to linger in memories, generation after generation." She was called the Lioness of Lisabi, a name that roared through the halls of colonial power and echoed in the hearts of women across Africa. Her name is Funmilayo Ransome Legends. But before the fame, there was fire. Born on October 25, 1900 in Abeokuta, present-day Ogun State, Nigeria, Funmilayo was born Frances Abigail Olufunmilayo Thomas. She came from a family that valued education, and in 1914, she became the first female student at Abeokuta Grammar School. Determined and brilliant, she later traveled to England for further studies, a rare feat for a Nigerian woman at that time. There, she trained as a teacher, absorbing ideas of equality and freedom that would shape her life's mission. On returning to Nigeria in the 1920s, she married Reverend Israel Ransome Kuti, a clergyman and educator. Together, they worked to uplift their community through education. But Funmilayo was not content with just teaching. She saw how colonial rule and traditional structures oppressed Nigerian women, and she decided to act. In 1947, she founded the Abeokuta Women's Union, one of Africa's most powerful grassroots women movements. The group fought against unfair taxation and the corrupt practices of the Alake, the traditional ruler of Abeokuta. Thousands of women led by Funmilayo marched in protest. They sang, they chanted, they occupied, and eventually they won. The Alake was forced to abdicate. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti was fearless. She was one of the few Nigerian women to drive a car, to travel widely, and to speak truth to power. Her activism didn't stop in Abeokuta. She was a founding member of the Nigerian Union of Teachers, a member of the National Council of Nigeria, and first Nigerian woman to visit the Soviet Union, a move that earned her the label Communist Sympathizer by British authorities. But she wasn't deterred. In fact, she was emboldened. In her later years, she focused on broader issues: education, voting rights, women participation in politics. She advocated for the inclusion of women in leadership and resisted Nigeria's slide into authoritarianism. She raised 4 children, including Fela Anikulapo Kuti, the legendary Afro youth, but tragedy would eventually come. In 1977, during a brutal military raid on Fela's compound, known as Kalakuta Republic, Funmilayo was thrown from a second-story window by soldiers. She never recovered from the injuries, and on April 13th, 1978, she passed away. Fumilayo Ransom Kuti was more than a mother, more than a teacher. She was a symbol of courage, of resistance, of dignity. She paved the path so Nigerian women could walk tall, speak freely, and fight for justice. Her legacy lives in every classroom, every protest, every woman who dares to say enough.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. And now we move to our first discussion for today. So we want to assess the state of primary education in Nigeria. Child receive quality education in safe and a conducive learning environment. And the topic says assessing the state of primary education in Nigeria. And to do justice to this topic, we have our guest in the studio, an educator, also a school administrator, Pastor Mrs. Olanireti Adebayo. Thank you, ma, for joining us today.
Thank you for joining us, ma.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So, if you want to tell us, what is the state of primary education in Nigeria? I want you to answer this question from the point of view of a school administrator and also a teacher.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Primary education, when you look at it, basically, need to look at some issue on how do we meet up with other states and other country, because this is a situation whereby all our pupils will still meet up with others in the higher institution. So by this we have to look at some area where government need to take into consideration for now.
So the world is changing very fast. Everybody can attest to that. And children today are growing up in a highly digital and highly competitive environment.
Yes.
So many schools and many people believe that schools should do just more than writing and teaching. So to what extent do you think Nigerian think that every child should be learning in school today? What are the digital, or can you say some skills do you think every child should be learning at the primary school level today?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
When we look at it, basically, if we want these children to develop, we shouldn't leave it on the classroom. Not only that, assessing the children's skill shouldn't be on paper. I think it should be on practical skill, on critical thinking of the children. I mean the pupils. Because when we talk of digital aspects now, we need to take it out of class. I mean classroom. We need their teachers. Not the war that want to pass it to the children. So that should be the first thing.
All right. Now, speaking of that, you've made mention of the fact that you got the children, the puppies, they must be exposed to computers. That's a good one.
Through their teachers.
Even the teachers, yeah, that's a good one. But now, how well or to what extent do you want government now to come in beyond, aside the supply of computers to puppies, one child to one computer? So what other areas or responsibility do you think government should play in ensuring?
It's like even God giving them computer, little things that may not cost much. even recognizing them. That this is a traditional teacher that has been left school for long, and it's having it in mind that you want to meet up with the standard so that you can get it back to the pupils. If there's
It's one thing to want government to come to your aid, especially the owners of private schools. And another thing is to be very, very open to compliance coming from the government now, especially the Ministry of Education. State Ministry of Education. So how will you describe, without settlement, how will you describe the level of compliance, especially from the private schools in Ondo State? Are they complying to the point of even attracting
demis? That is not, as I'm sending the information concerning my school in that local area in Akure North, I could say that people in other country can access my school through what government introduced in Ondo State now. The demis and the other one, bemis, that they taught us how to do that.
All right, so beyond the, thank you very much for that. But beyond academic compliance, what about infrastructural compliance? Because a whole lot of school owners, if you agree with me, they see school business as a very lucrative one. So they don't tend to take time to go through the due process, ensuring that the environment is conducive for the student. So I would like to pause it there. We want to take a commercial break. So when we come back, you continue from there. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
ọmọ mi nítorí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe máa ń fún ní ọmọ mi nítorí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe máa ń fún ní Bonvita mo lójoojúmọ́. Bonvita ń fún ẹ ní agbára láti máa yege lójoojúmọ́. Àwọn kan máa ń sọ pé ẹ̀kọ́ dìrọ̀rùn àmọ́ èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí abiyamọ mo rí ìpèníjà fún ọmọ mi nítorí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe máa ń fún ní Bonvita mo lójoojúmọ́. Bonvita ń fún ẹ ní agbára láti máa yege lójoojúmọ́. Àwọn kan máa ń sọ pé ẹ̀kọ́ dìrọ̀rùn àmọ́ èmi gẹ́gẹ́ bí abiyamọ mo rí ìpèníjà fún ọmọ mi nítorí ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe máa ń fún ní Bonvita mo lójoojúmọ́. Bonvita ń fún ẹ ní agbára láti máa yege lójoojúmọ́.
Thank you for staying with us. And the discussion we are currently on is on the assessing the state of primary education in Nigeria. And we have in the studio with us Pastor Mrs. Olanireti Adebayo, an educator, also a school administrator. Ma, you've been saying about training that
she was actually talking about security before we go into
the issue of security. Okay,
we're talking about security.
Let's conclude the issue of security.
All right, okay.
As I said,
as we all know, digital now everywhere. Those companies, there is a card. The pupils in the school, even not only that, the owners are trying to do that. We are complaining.
Okay, beyond perimeter fencing and big step measure security, let me put it that way. How well are you?
As I said, our commissioner is doing good. Okay. 2 weeks ago, was it not last week? There is another forum set up, Safe School, that is started last week, and they are doing good. We are hearing so many things that they are putting in place. Yes, since just last week. That one came up last week.
What are they doing? Are they security measures?
Yes, we have. If you look at that program, all the
to
uniform
be
men.
security conscious.
Yes, they are coming together to look at how are they going to do this. That
think in that regard.
well, where do we get that land? If we start renovate moving schools to urban places, where do we
Not necessarily urban places. The kind of relocation for safety.
For safety is good, but we cannot move all schools.
Okay.
Because we can't get all the land for them. What we can do, or government can help us. All the security can be put to those schools, those areas. There are so many schools are there that they didn't even have fence. I mean, public schools that don't have fence.
Yes.
It's private that try to put that. What we can do is let's do school. Where are they? So parents should enroll their children, their ward in school. If they are not there, even if there is free education and the children are not in school, if there is computer, if there is digital, everything is there, and the children are not there, how are they going to get the normal training that they need to get? So first of all, parents should ensure that they enroll their children in school. Not only that, they must monitor the children to be in school. Punctuality. Not that you just leave a child in the morning, you are out of thinking that the child is there or not, you don't want to know, but your own is to go out. We have some children, some parents like that, that you will call them, ma, we didn't embrace it.
Okay, now I'll put it to you now.
All right,
you interestingly, you manage a school. So to what extent are you exposing your pupils to career opportunities, especially the career opportunities that are inherent in the 21st century?
Thank you very much. In 2023, we did one career talk. And we invited so many people in almost all the professionals. And we have testimony of that. That they, like, not only the students, not only the pupils, but the parents. In fact, I want to tell you that even the parents need it more than the pupils. Because they are the one that they are convincing the children at home that this is what I want you to do, this is how you are going to do it. But why bringing them together? The career talk brings parents together with the pupils to listen to how they are going to go about all these things. And through career talk, by the grace of God, we are going to have
earlier how technology is changing the way children learn in the classroom, and how more schools should adopt technology in training their pupils. So with this, even though you said the government is not really coming forward to help in terms of providing tools for schools,
adequate
tools for schools. So the burden might be on the school to actually ask some parents for some equipment for their wards. So how can school adopt technology and embrace technology and not placing too much burden on the parents?
Thank you. We can't just ask government to do all.
Yes.
Every one of us, we have to contribute our own quota. School owner can look at it in this way, that we can have, there are some NGO, we can have programs that can bring in those NGO to our schools that can help us to get all this. And there are some parastatals that they are there in town that can assist. So school owners can, when the first test is in government's custody, the base, they have the second test, the exam is there. Like we did second test now, we have sent the second test to the second term test to them, and they have informed us that they are expecting us to prepare for the we have sent this first term, we have done the third term, and this third term that we are going to send our class continuous assessment that children have been doing. Initially, we don't have it before. We keep our test in our class, and now we are using that even to tell parents, if your child, whatever your child score, is not only limited in school. Government we see it, and do you know that because of that, the children are trying to do better. That it's not only in school, it's not only your parents that we see. no counselor in primary school.
Okay.
Even though the counselors is they will ensure how to inform the children. This is how you go about this digital that we are introducing you to, so that they will not go outside to be guided. They will not go outside the aim and objective of the digital that we are introducing them to. So if there is counselor right from primary, let's catch them, you guys. I said, if there are counselor in school, we can treat them, we can tell them, because we can see that most of these children, when they get to secondary, I will suggest that these things should be done in every school. I mean, career talk should be done in every school. And as we are doing that, government should look at it in a way whereby it will not be cost on schools. Because some schools, as I told educator, a school owner, I said, this is my second time of doing that. He said, this thing is costing you much. You are spending money on this. I said, yes, but I'm getting something.
You don't have sponsors?
For now, we don't have. We are doing it by ourselves. And governments can do that. Governments can look at it a way where they can come in.
What is the Ministry of Education doing to this effect? Or do you write to them?
Maybe it's high time you package a proposal and start working in that line.
Maybe we can do that. But we are having our morning in the suburb, the PS, Princess. She's coming for the career talk. And this is one of them. She
Famuyide Fashiranti was born on May 11, 1926 in Ushu, a proud community within Akure land. He has lived nearly a century of influence, service, and unshakable moral leadership. A nationalist, Awaist, teacher, and Yoruba statesman. His life reflects the enduring values of the Yoruba concept of Omoluabi, wisdom, humility, and uprightness. Though raised in Ushu, it was in Akure, the capital of Ondo State, that his legacy took deep roots. He became one of Akure's most illustrious sons, not only for his achievements, but for his principles. Fashiranti's academic journey took him from primary school in his village Ushu to Ondo Boys High School, then to Yaba Higher College, and to University College Ibadan, Nigeria's premier institution at that time. Abroad, he earned a diploma in Maguire University in Australia. He spent the best of his early years teaching and building schools, driven by a belief that education was the foundation for national development. He served as a teacher and principal in several schools across the Old Western region. Upon retiring from public service, he founded Omolere Nursery and Primary School, Akure High School, and St. Francis Academy, named after his late wife, Frances Awoshika. But Fashiranti was not just a classroom figure. He was a committed follower of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a true Awoist in ideology and practice. Like Awolowo, he believed in federalism, regional development, free education, and justice. In 1979, he was appointed Ondo State Commissioner for Finance under Governor Adekunle Ajashi, another Awoist, where he helped shape fiscal policies that prioritized the people. When the June 12, 1993 election was annulled, the most credible in Nigeria's history, Fashiranti joined pro-democracy forces across Nigeria and the Yoruba nation, speaking truth to power. He was a strong pillar of the Nadeko movement in Afenifere, the platforms he used extensively to voice his resistance against military tyranny. In 2008, he became the national leader of Afenifere, where he preached unity, accountability, restructuring, and the preservation of Yoruba identity. Under his calm but firm leadership, Afenifere remained Nigeria's conscience even in turbulent times. His commitment to justice was tested in 2019 when his daughter, Mrs. Funke Olakunri, was tragically killed by suspected herdsmen on the highway. Even in grief, he chose the path of peace, calling for national reform, not revenge. In 2021, at the age of 95, he stepped aside from Afenifere leadership, demonstrating once again that power for him was never about position but about purpose. As Nigeria marked its democratic milestones, his name was never far from national praise from presidents, governors, intellectuals, and common people alike. In 2025, on his 99th birthday, he renewed his hope in Nigeria under the leadership of President Tinubu, calling it a path to progress and greatness. Today, Paruba Fashoranti is not just an older statesman, he is a national symbol, a bridge between generations, a compass for Yoruba politics, and a moral voice for Nigeria's future. He represents what leadership should be, not loud but lasting, not forceful but firm, not selfish but sacrificial.
Alright, welcome. Thank you for staying with us. It's now time for Nigerian Reality Check, where we'll be looking at what is happening in our day-to-day life as Nigerians and how it affects our living. So let's get into it. The first reality check I have here is about rainy season changing daily life. Across many parts of Nigeria, the rainy season is already affecting how people plan their day and they move around. So we can actually say this is true.
Yeah, you're right.
The heavy rainfall is affecting how most people plan their day and even how they move. And I think most people now use the weather forecast to ensure that at least the rain is not affecting.
In terms of the fact that the weather is changing, the climate change is actually on the front burner, so you must need to get the weather forecast before you plan your day. Very, very important. Don't just delve into the day without consulting weather reports.
And as well, with this weather, the poor drainage system in most of our communities, the flooding and the pouring refuse on the drainage system. I think it should be more. The other day we had the Commissioner for Environment coming to tell us how the agency is trying to rectify all these issues. But we just hope that we implore people to make use of this season and ensure that they don't really pour debts on our drainage
level
system.
of preparedness. How prepared are you? The level of preparedness is very, very important so that we don't end up victims and start crying that government is not doing anything. On your own part, what are you doing to mitigate the effect of flood in rainy season?
All right, the next one I have here is about local tourism gaining more attention. Travel and lifestyle trends show growing interest in exploring destinations within Nigeria. More Nigerians are discovering places, festivals within their own states and regions. Yes, of course. The recent Ojude Oba festival that happened in Ogun State attracted.
When it comes to culture, we are very, very rich.
Of course,
people are also discovering their culture as well in Nigeria. The people are now seeing the need.
And with the help of social media,
exactly, the need to package their culture with our culture, with what we have, with identity. It's time we start selling to them as well. Start packaging our culture for them to embrace, to see who we are, as Yorubas and as Nigerians.
Even looking at the
and Africa as a whole.
Looking at the potentials this tourist attraction or this culture can actually hold on. Let's look at the Mari festival now. With that festival, you can tell that people traveled from other parts of the country.
Of course. Diasporas, they came down.
From other states.
As a matter of fact, I tell you, there's a particular event in that Mari that they call it, I'll try to remember the name, but and understand the reactions or the interest of your client. Very, very important. So I wouldn't say people are getting impatient, and that does not give the service provider the leverage to start taking advantage that you have to be patient now. Patience is a virtue.
Of course.
But also there must be value. You must add value. Part of values that is attached to your service is also ability to deliver on time.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. So even at that, people should still be patient to some extent.
Okay, if you say so.
People should still be patient, even though of course we want fast service delivery. People should still
depending on the nature of the need. If it is an essential need, I'm not sure patient can really work.
Okay, let's
for instance, you request for the service of a doctor.
Okay.
To maybe home service.
Okay.
You're not feeling okay.
Of course, that is.
And the doctor is delayed and is now coming to give you excuses after you paid. So I don't think patients will work in that particular instance.